Okay, let's go back to my mission topics. And I'm going to put it on autopilot again. And I have forgot completely about resetting the elapsed time needle on my clock. But the flight time, as it's called, is showing us that we have been in the flight about 1 hour and 20 minutes. Pretty cool. And that's in the Su-25T. So it is possible to do fuel management in this aircraft. Let's bring up my mission topics again, and while we're at it, why don't we just discuss fuel management? And that is right here. I'm going to talk about fuel consumption tables, and thanks to ESB77 for data and tables. And here again, you can find these on the DCS World forums. And if I remember, I'll try to leave a link in the YouTube description where these tables are found. Fuel consumption tables. For max range, operate at 90% to 95% throttle RPM. We're a little above that because we're at a high altitude. For max slaughter times, operate at 80 to 90% throttle RPM. Distance flown between kilometers on 520 kilograms of fuel, 1,200 pounds of fuel with clean plane. Initial velocity 340 to 400 kilometers per hour. It has a chart of the distance that can be flown and the different altitudes that you can get. So, as you can see, and what that means, and basically, at 5,000 meters, at 95% throttle, 520 kilograms will take you 144 kilometers. And that's pretty good. Distance in kilometers on 520 kilograms of fuel. V velocity, initial 400 kilometers per hour. Payload, guns, ammo, 9,600, which is pretty much what we have with full fuel tanks. Again, the throttle settings at 95% at 5,000 meters with 520 kilograms of fuel would get you about 123 kilometers. Figures in the above tables were taken from test flights in DCS World, and relative errors for all figures should be less than 5%. That's just kind of a quick approximation, but I put it in here just because it kind of gives you a basis that yes, fuel management in the Su-25 Tangle is possible. The next chart I want to go to is called, if I can find it, right here, cruise performance. Cruise performance data was measured under the following conditions. And this constant altitude, constant cruise thrust, bingo, return to base fuel 800 kilograms. Constant cruise thrust was measured 95% in one. Payload all pylons with no external fuel tanks. Thrust settings below 95 M1 at altitudes above or equal to 3,000 meters are not sufficient to sustain efficient level flight at constant altitude. So flight endurance, time airborne, and range were calculated using the data from the table below, which is fairly interesting because at 7,000 meters, N1 55% 60-second test period, distance is 12.5 kilometers, and a flight time of 1 hour and 14 minutes. And this was with all pylons with no fuel external tanks. So range results were calculated using both specific fuel consumption and covered distance at different altitudes. Range data is shown in figure 1-2. So basically what this data indicates that flight under full load at altitude of 7,000 meters and 95% M1 thrust setting results in longest flight range and longest flight time. Flying with the same thrust settings but at altitude of 3,000 meters results in shortest range but will produce highest ground speed. Please note that the data provided does not take into account the burn of fuel, which results in aircraft weight decreasing also. The climb to cruise altitude fuel usage was not considered. So basically, you put the Su-25 Tango at 7,000 meters, you can cruise for a while. Cool. Which is what I'm doing now. Cool. So now let's go to my mission topics and see what the next topic is. So I've covered basic HUD, navigation mode, aerodrome IDs, and advanced, and I've covered the cruise performance, Su-25 Tango's manageable fuel consumption. So now let's go to an advanced flight dynamics model. This is really kind of interesting. I may actually skip this part. Well, I think what I'm going to do for the next 10 minutes or so is I'm just going to sit and cruise, take in some scenic scenery, rest my voice, and just kind of cruise along and enjoy the scenery. Put some music on. Okay, folks, I'm coming up on waypoint 7, where I will be turning onto waypoint 8, and basically I'm going to cut off the autopilot here in a minute because we're going to drop down to a lower altitude. And to conserve fuel, I'm just going to kind of do a glide down. So first thing I'm going to do is I need to get my aircraft trim to back up, and that was the rudder, the small trim. So that's the aileron, the upper one. So the aircraft is trimmed back up, and I'm basically going to coast down to conserve fuel to my next waypoint. And I'm headed to waypoint 8, which is kind of like the entry point into the pattern for Mineral Bodie. As you can see, my fuel state is about 2,400 kilograms of fuel. So I've done almost a 2-hour flight in the Su-25 Tango, and that's pretty good. Wow, this is pretty cool. I have no idea where 2 is at, where Lieutenant Bot is.